the pros and cons of using a real estate agent, along with this new NAR lawsuit that's taking place that's making it even harder for buyer's agents to get involved in transactions. Or is it?
I think the number one pro here by using a real estate agent is expert guidance. Realtors know the market like I know the snack drawer.
Tim, one thing I can say about a realtor that makes a good realtor or separates realtors is anybody can write a contract, but very few understand the power of a contract that's written well on behalf of a buyer for the protections and for the negotiating power. And to me, that's what separates good realtors from incredible realtors.
Plus, they handle all the paperwork. Have you seen how much paperwork is in a purchase contract?
The right realtors are asking the right questions, and it should be a partnership solidified from day one. Otherwise, you need to not sign a buyer's agent agreement, and you need to keep looking till you have that kind of confidence in the person who's going to represent you. People who try and do real estate everywhere because they have a license in the state, but they don't know the specific neighborhoods of the entire state. There are specialties that people need to understand. There are so many HOAs out there. There are HOAs that are problemsome, and there are HOAs that absolutely kick like rock stars. I have seen over the years deals that have fallen apart because litigation's taking place. Nobody wants to talk about the bad things of an HOA or a neighborhood. We all want to just sell, sell, sell. Tim, let's talk about the cons a little bit, because with this new NAR settlement, things have really got to be different. No longer can they put the comp to the buyer's agent into the Metro List listing. I have my own thoughts on that because most of the time I'm representing buyers, and I want to know, what am I getting out of it for representing? But now they're asking me to make sure I have a buyer's agreement set up beforehand and what the expectation is of representing my buyers. And we have to have that conversation. It's going to be a harder conversation, as most homeowners don't have a lot of extra money to come out of pocket, where traditionally, up until the settlement, the listing agent was paying or compensating the buyer's agent through a total commission received from the seller. Well, that's going to change a little bit. It can be negotiated outside of Metro List, so those conversations can still be had. But we do have some sellers out there that are going to say, 100% not my problem. Well, it's also not my problem, but guess what? I might need to show some houses where the seller is willing to have that conversation. And I know that because I've already spoken with, guess who? The listing agent. I'm not going to work for free and bring a ready available buyer to the table just to see them walk out on their own. There's some holes in this lawsuit. I don't care how you look at it. I don't think it was well thought through. But I understand that things are getting very expensive. I would have rather have seen them say, hey, what is the max comp somebody can make on a transaction? Now that real estate continues to get more and more costly, I get it. When you're dropping $100,000 over 6 to 7% in some of these markets in California, the Bay Area, things like that, Los Angeles, what do we see on every single night on TV? We see the high rollers, the Kardashians of real estate. There's a show about everybody, and they think that's the norm. Hey, that's like the top 5%. The rest of us low ballers out there, we live in the 95% realm with hardworking Americans, blue-collar workers that are just trying to move up because they have that next kid, or they're just trying to get that next bigger house because they've outgrown the first-time home buyer house. We're going to have to rethink this a little bit before it's over. And I have a feeling we haven't seen the end of this, but I think to me that is the biggest con with what we have going on right now for representation on the buyer side. I'm a 34-year licensed loan originator. I've been licensed for just as long in the state of California as a broker realtor. I've been 3 years now in the state of Georgia in real estate, and I'll be honest with you, I do not always represent myself, and I have the knowledge to, but sometimes I get out of my lane, and there are people that know markets better than me. I buy real estate all over the United States. I don't know those markets. I don't know Georgia like the back of my hand, and I don't know California outside of my small area, my island that I lived on up in Northern California. When you start working with realtors, and I've worked with some great realtors over the years, the conversations change. You tell them what you're looking for. You give them a guidance and a path, and they go to work and they start finding things exactly what you're looking for in markets that you never would have thought to look. And that's my 2 cents worth on that. You've got to be careful, even if you are a professional. Even professional baseball players hire hitting coaches, right? Barry Bonds had a hitting coach. Mark McGwire had a hitting coach. Tony Gwynn had a hitting coach. Somebody that can take an outside look at what you're trying to do and give you an educated opinion. That's my 2 cents worth on that.
If you like us, we want you to subscribe, hit the bell for more awesome content. We're putting out stuff almost daily. That's it for this Mortgage Ballers episode. And as we always say,
stay thirsty, my friends.
Stay hungry, my friends. Thirsty. Sorry, thirsty.